Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? Hopefully having a good evening or morning wherever you are. If you don't know what this is, hello and welcome to our weekly live stream. Every Saturday/Sunday morning we are doing a live stream, and each week's a different theme on the rotating schedule. This week's is making a game live, and this is an ongoing reoccurring series where we just make a game live in front of you guys with no prior practice, warm-up, setup, or anything like that, completely off the cuff, trying to make a game. And the game we're trying to remake is a Zombies Ate My Neighbours from the SNES Genesis sort of era. So hopefully everyone can hear me okay, because we're going to go through a few things tonight. First of all, let's recap what we've currently got so far in our game project. Currently we've got it so our character can shoot, and we can swap weapons with the number pads on our keyboards, and we've got grenade sort of type thing. We can pick up ammo. We have got zombies in there. We've got an exit level working. We've got neighbours we can pick up, and so I feel like before we can go any further, we need to start working on level design and getting some levels, at least the first level in place. So we can test out various things like doors, cupboards, vending machines, things that you can smash open to get ammo and get other things you can pick up and so forth. And I think we have to do that first before we can go any further. Because then hopefully the next episode we get, like another next time we do this, we'll probably start doing some artwork based stuff and start doing some quick models in Maya to get the ball rolling a little bit. So prior to this, we've been working just in a top-down template and nothing special. Okay, so what we're doing in here is we're going to change this map up, and I think it'd be quite cool to actually replicate the first level from the actual game we're trying to remake, which is Zombies Ate My Neighbours. So on my other screen here, I've got the map layout for the first level. I'll see if I can bring that down for you guys to see. So here it is. It's quite simple. So we've got the main garden bit, we've got 2 rooms with cupboards in them, and we've got a graveyard and the swimming pool area with some trampolines and so forth. So once we've got this in place, then we can start working on other things like doors, trampolines, swimming pools, things of that nature. So let me just put it up on my other screen so I can try and remake it. I've got chat open on the other screen as well. So I can, if you have any questions or comments you want to bring up, or just general chit chat, I'm all ears, or eyes rather. Okay, so let's get started with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate this level. Okay, so duplicate, and this one's going to be level 1. And level 1 we can open up, click save. And in here, we can get rid of most of the stuff that's in here. So let's just select all this junk, because we don't need it. Actually, it might be easier if we do it in the outliner. Delete. Cool. So other things we don't need. We don't need these folders. We'll keep that. We can get rid of light mass. We don't need that right now. We can sort that out later. Nav mesh, we can remove, we can replace it later on. Get rid of the ammo, get rid of this cube that we put in there. We don't need a network player start. We're not doing online multiplayer. Don't need a template label. And that is it. Yeah, we'll leave it like this. Okay, so let's put in our level. So I'm going to start off with a landscape just to get some basic flooring in there. So I'm going to create new, and it's way too big, don't want it that big. I'm going to change that to 7x7, a bit bigger, 15x15, yeah, and click create. Okay, so I'm not going to do any sculpting with this, we're just going to place some stuff about. So to block this out, I'm going to use geometry, and these are what we call BSPs, or just geometry, if you want to call it geometry. Essentially just building blocks that you can put in to build certain areas. So looking at my map, I need to make some wall pieces. Okay, so this will be our first wall. So I'm just going to lock that to the floor, and let's say a single wall section of about 100. Oh, probably by 100, and a height of 200. Okay, so if we say a wall is that high, then we can. Okay, so if we say a single section is about that, then let's start blocking this out. So I'm going to start off with this swimming pool area that's in the middle, and try and replicate that. So let's do that in the Y. 1, 2, 3, 300. And I'm going to test snap on to 100s, like so. And then I'm going to duplicate this with my Alt key, and I'm just going to put this like so. And we're going to go down a fair number. So Y again in the hello. Let's say 700. Oh, why is it done that? 50, 50. There we go. Okay. Cool. And let's just rotate that again. And this one is going to be a lot longer. So this one's going to be more like, I don't know, looks like a 1600 job. So let's plug that in there. Let's put my character somewhere. Let's have a look. Actually, we need to make this a bit bigger, I think. Let's go out a bit further. Set this one up for a bit longer. Let's do that as 1000. See what that looks like. Mm-mm-mm-mm. 190, let's change that to 200. Oh, minus 200. Okay. Go. And we'll put this one up against this. That's better. Okay. Let's just see. Chat. There we go. Okay. Wasn't too sure if chat wasn't working or not, but it is. That's fine. Okay, cool. Okay, so now move that up this way, and I'm gonna knock 200 off of this. So it's 1400. Oh no, not 1400. Another. Let's say 1100. There we are. Cool. Okay, so now we've got a wall that goes all the way up the other side, blocking this whole thing off. So do that, and then this one is going to go up by another 1700 maybe. Yeah, maybe a bit more. 1900. Cool. Okay. So the benefit of using these building blocks is that they're quick and easy to resize as of and when you need them. At the moment, you're not doing any artwork. You don't want to waste time modelling something that you eventually want to change. It's kind of a bad idea to do so, because then you're wasting artwork. Takes a long time, so you don't want to waste time making artwork that you're not going to use. So you block it all out like this. It's also called grey boxing or white boxing, depending on where you're working and who you're working for. But essentially, it's the same job. You're just blocking out ideas to see where they get you. Okay, so that one is going to be really long. Let's say 2000. Okay. Push play and get a feel for the space. So this will be where the swimming pool is. And we can come out of here, and this leads us into the gardens, and here will be the trampolines. And over here, it's just some trees and stuff. And there'll be the edge of the level. Okay, so that's that bit. The next bit is we've got a little hideaway section here. So it's not going to be exactly the same because I think my scale's a little bit off, but don't mind, we'll just crack on with this. So this one's going to be 300 and do that one as 100. And this one as 300. No, wrong way. 300. No, a bit longer than that. We need, say, 500. I want it to line up to that point there. Cool. And we're going to rotate this and duplicate it. And we're going to go 200. Like so. And that's like a little hidden bit on the map. So if I drag this map out again, you can have a look and see what I've done. So this is the part we've done. We've done this wall bit here, like so. And this little sheltered bit here is a cover where there's a secret weapon or secret pickup. I can't remember now exactly. So using this reference here, estimating it roughly like so. So yeah, Kim, this is the reference I'm using. So just going to do the outside edges now, so I can fill out the rest. Actually, let's do this bit here quickly. Drag that up a bit. Okay, and right. So I need let's drag this out. Okay. This will be 700. No, not that much. Actually. Yeah, that'll do. Drag that out there. And I'm going to duplicate this. So once I've blocked it all out, the way I'm going to model this, which we'll do in the next time we do this, which will be on the Wednesday on our live stream event, is I'm going to model a wall piece of various sizes. So we'll do a 300 piece, a 200 piece, and a 100 piece, and we use those modularly to create levels. So that would be my plan for that. So on Wednesday we'll be doing that, which is our live stream event. So the live stream event on Wednesday, a few things to note about that. It's a 5 hour long, maybe a bit longer event. It celebrates our 2-year anniversary of the channel, and we'll be doing all 4 of the types of live streams we do. So that is a live tutorial, question time, making a game live, which is what this is, and a case study. And for the case study, we were playing Outer Worlds, and after that, we'll be doing an hour long. Can I make a game, a whole game, inside of an hour? So it's just me rushing through it and see if I can make a game in an hour. During the event, there'll be a load of giveaways and promotions as well. I've got something super secret and super cool coming out on that day, so I'll be happy to announce that and share that on that day. So keep an eye out for that during the stream. The giveaways and promotions will only last during the stream, so you have to make sure you're tuning in to catch those. It starts at 10 o'clock at night, GMT. So wherever that is, based on your time zone, down to you. But yeah, join in, it'd be cool. All my live streams are archived, so you will be able to catch up if you can't make it to the live stream. So don't fret. Okay, so we've got that bit there, and this bit goes over here. This one's going to be 200. Cool. Yeah, Kim, I do have an idea for the kind of game I'm going to make. It's going to be a very quick and simple game, a little puzzle game, but it'll be one that I'm hoping to make randomized, so it'll forever be playable. You'll never not have a game to play in it. So I've got an idea of what to do for that. I'm not practicing it. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm only thinking about it in my head. So we'll see. No, I'm not working in my real life job this week. It's half term for my college, so I've got no teaching, no classes going on. So it's quite nice. 4,000 to get a good length out of that. Bit longer, I think. Let's go 5,000. Cool. Okay. Now let's duplicate that across. Hold down Shift and Alt, and it'll do this camera thing. But it's a cool little puzzle game. It'll be interesting to see if I can get it done in time. I think I can. In my head, I expect no complications, but I guarantee it. I will get some problems. Let's chuck that over there. Okay. How over am I? Let's guess that's 7,000. Oh, close. Just 500. Ah, screw it, that'll do. And we need this right at the top as well. So there's the kind of the whole level, pretty much. There's some rooms, like buildings at the top, but we'll do those in a moment. So here's my level. I can run around, so forth. Cool. Okay. So regarding how I get this to proportion, as Kim's asking in the chat, he asks, how do I get the size and proportion to the reference material? Is it just a calculated guess? It is. It is just going to be a calculated guess based on the image I'm looking at. That's all. It doesn't really matter too much because obviously it's a remake, remaster type thing, so literally just messing about with that. But yeah. Yeah, I'm always open to ideas for future game case studies. I'm only choosing Outer Worlds because it's literally just came out this week and it's cool and interesting. I thought it'd be worthwhile having a look at that. But Zelda would be a good one to look at too. I like Zeldas, so probably pick that up at some point doing Breath of the Wild. That'd be quite a fun one to do. Okay, so now let's have a crack at the trampoline. The trampoline is tricky because the trampoline, you walk up to it and you've got to get onto the trampoline, bouncing on it, and be able to transfer from a trampoline somewhere else. So that's what we're going to try and figure out now. So for some differentiation, let's just put some materials on our floor here. Let's just put some grass on it. No, alright, I'll put it over here. There we go. So we're going to see how this works. I do. And what the box brush is. We're going to drag some stone on it. Oh, Shift B. Is it Shift B? Control B? No. Oh, I've got to do it for everyone. I can't bother to do that. We'll leave it as is. Okay, so I'm going to try and do the trampoline then. So let's make a trampoline blueprint. Trampoline. Make blueprint class. Actor. Okay. So before I get started on this, I'm going to quick pause. Oh wait, no, maybe not. So my son started crying, but I think my wife's gone to see him out. Okay, that's fine. We'll carry on. Okay, so we've got a trampoline, and we're going to need a static mesh for this thing. And we're just going to choose a box. Cube, rather, for now. And this thing is going to be flat and wide. Cool. So we need a trigger to determine when we've walked into it. No, box collision rather. And this thing will not be, yeah, we can leave it attached, it's fine. Move it around like so. And open it up. Turn snap off and just move it into position. So when we walk into this trigger, my thinking is as soon as I walk into it, I think it will then just transfer me onto the jumping spot. So to add a jumping spot in, we need a scene component for this. So scene component, I'm going to drag up like so, and I'm going to name this thing jump ping position. Oh, hitting all the wrong keys. Position. I spelled it wrong, but never mind. Actually, no, I do mind. That's going to bother me. Position. There we go. Okay, so a jumping position is going to be where we set the player to jump up and down, and we'll tell them to move left or right based on our inputs. Maxime's asked, in materials, is there any idea how much a material instance differs in performance? Exact number, I can't tell you, but I know it makes it better. The reason why it's better is because the game doesn't have to load up a different material object. It only has to do an instance of one. It's just copy and paste rather than load up something else that's completely different. So it makes it a lot nicer on the engine if you can use a material instance. If you've only got one object using one material, then it doesn't matter. But if you've got something that's going to be using multiple instances, then definitely better. And obviously, if it's dynamic, it makes it a lot easier to do so. So let's just get the character into that position. So, my event graph, I'm going to do when the player collides with box. So begin overlap. Now, what we're trying to do here is actually one of these things where the actual ability to do this is a lot easier to do in 2D than it is in 3D, which is one of those frustrating things. But other actor, we're going to check whether or not that's the player, equal to get player character. Asmund, is it the dot in the EQS that can force the AI to do something? No, the dot is what you do to work out its rotation, which way it's facing. So yeah, use dot to work out its direction in EQS. I'm going to get the other player. Set location. Get to location. This thing. So when I'm jumping into position, we get to the actual location. I then want to tell the player character that they are on the trampoline, don't I? So rather than doing this, I need to cast because I need to get access to the player character. So cast to player. Oh, it's called top down, isn't it? Top down character. There you go. That's top down character. Do that. And we're going to set a variable on our we're going to need to set a variable on our player character. So let's go to our player character. And let's set a new variable. Is on trampoline. When you're writing booleans, best thing to do is write them as a question, because then it's easy to know whether true or false is the correct point for that. So the trampoline is false by default, which is good. Let's go back to our trampoline. So when we are on it, we want to change the is on trampoline set, and we want to set that to true. Try to think now what else. So do that, and then we want to is on trampoline. We're going to need an event, aren't we? So if I go to my player character, we need another event, custom event, and we want trampoline. And we're going to call the trampoline event. Okay, so on the trampoline event, we're going to go landed. No, is land. What do they call it? No. Ground is moving. No. I swear it was landed, not event on landed though. I turn that off and go landed. Is on. Nope. Landed. Ground. Always forget what this one is. Yeah. I can't remember what they call it. I swear it was something like landed. It's a boolean basically that says that you are on the ground. No. Nope. In there, this only works for the third person, and then we don't want that. So, what bloody hell could we do? Jump into two. Okay, let's first of all let's do trampoline. We'll do launch. So we go launch character, and we'll just do launch of 500, and Z override that. Falling is falling. No, it's only for AI. That one is falling. Not a big deal. We can do a workaround. It's not a big problem. So, trampoline, we launch character, and on event, we do landed, and we go is on trampoline is true. We'll do trampoline bounce again. I'll keep doing it. So whilst doing this, I also want to disable not disable input. I guess we're doing a disable movement. So on movement controller, I'll move forward and move right. We're going to check is on trampoline is false. So get, and we're going to check if that's false. The way it works in the game is that once you get on the trampoline, you have to hold the direction in a certain direction you want to go in, and then it will launch you off of it in that direction. So, is on trampoline is false, it will move forward, and do the exact same here. So, we can't move around whilst we're bouncing. Like so. Compile. Then, if we're holding down the key, true. Is on landed. Trampoline. If I get, let's just test this out first of all. This should just make me bounce on the spot, and then we can work out how to get it to actually launch me off of it. So if I drag a trampoline now into a world, play. Oh. I messed up this code here. That should be false. Not true. Okay. See, I'm bouncing, but not on the trampoline. I need to tell my velocity to back to 0 when I. Ooh. Right. So when I trampoline, okay, set velocity. Velocity. Nope. Set velocity. Here we go. To 0. That should keep me on the spot, I think. Yeah. So I am bouncing a trampoline. Cool. So let's make it a bit more bouncy. So let's change that to 1,000. And we also don't want to be able to shoot whilst on the trampoline. Again, that's from the original game. So we're going to go to shoot. We're going to check is on trampoline. Is false. If we can actually shoot. So now, bounce. Boing. Boing. Okay, so we've got a trampoline working. Next, we need to get so that when I hold down the key in a direction, it launches me off in that direction. I guess what we could do, because it is a remake, it don't have to be exactly how they did it in the original game. We don't actually need to do this, I think. If we do that, keep it move right so you can't strafe. You have to be facing the direction you're going to fall off of. Like that. And if I push forward, no. If I'm pushing forward, I want to launch in a certain direction. So, okay, we'll cancel that out because that's not good. That's not a good thing. So on the launch here, we're going to get the move forward. Get move forward value. And we're going to multiply this by a vector. And the vector is going to be 500 in the Z. And then move forward would be in the direction that we're going in. So that would be in the X1. So if I do X, and this will require some tweaking. So let's go to 200 and put that into launch. And then, oh, hang on, no, that won't work. Because if move forward, this thing returns how much you're pushing the button. So if you're pushing it 0 or 1, if it's 0, then it'll cancel out my Z, which I don't want. So what I want to do here is do 0 there, and then add that to another vector with Z set to 500. Oh no, 1,000, wasn't it? And then plug that in. I'm going to override X and Y. Let's see how that looks. I see chat is going off the wall here. I'll have a look in a second. So I can now move my mouse. Perfect. Okay, I just need to tell it to stop stop bouncing. Okay, so let's just give it a bit more oomph in a direction. And then I'll have a chat. Let's go 300. And event on landed. I'm going to check whether or not I'm on the trampoline. So, we'll do a line trace really. And let me have a look at chat whilst I'm thinking this one out. Sorry, let's have a look, see what people have got here. Splines and cables are really handy, yeah. I've obviously done a load of videos on splines, nothing on cables yet. I'll do one on cables at some point. They are quite cool to use. Bit limited, but they're fine for decoration. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Right, no worries. So let's think about how we can do this. So on landed, I've got a hit event here. So if I split this, I've got the hit actor, and I think that'll return correctly. So if I do print and then the actor out, test that out, see what that looks like. So bounce, bounce, trampoline, correct. If I move off of the trampoline, get landscape, cool. So I want to check then that this is not the trampoline. So if hit actor is not equal to trampoline if it's not equal to trampoline, so false will go into there. Else we're setting is on trampoline to false. Okay. So go over to the trampoline, bounce, hold down the button. Kind of. There was a slight glitch there. What was that about? I think the hit actor thing isn't working too well. So, it's because this is a reference. I don't want to just drag in a reference. I think. Let's do print string on that. Yeah, see, I shouldn't be doing that. So I'm guessing the reason why is because this reference doesn't really work. So what we do is we get actor, get class of the actor, and we're going to check that it's not equal to the trampoline class. That'll hopefully do it. There we go. Now if I hold down forwards, I can continue playing the game. Sweet. Okay, so currently, if I hold down W when I'm facing this way, it'll still fly off that way. If I hold down S, it'll fly off this way. Okay, so it's not flying off in the direction he's facing. So let's have a look at that. This thing here. So this thing here needs to be set to the direction of the pawn. So let's get forward vector. And the rotation of this is get the active rotation and plug in that into, no, multiplying that. No, what we're doing? Because the forward vector gets you just a normalized value between 0 and 1. So I'm going to use 0 and 1 multiplied by 300. Yeah, that's right, 300. And then multiply that then by that. And hopefully, sorry, not that, multiply it by a float. Multiply it by a float. That goes into there, and that's 300. And let's test that out. So if I'm facing this way, hold down W. Yeah. I can shoot again. Cool. So we've got that working. So now let's see if we can transfer between multiple trampolines and over the wall, like it is in our map. So if I drag a look at the map, you see I've got these trampolines here and this one over the wall. So it's meant to provide another way in and out of the swimming pool area. So let's try and replicate that. So I'm going to drag this out and duplicate that. And we're going to duplicate this one, like so. Play. That'll do, won't it? That'll be fine. It's not entirely like a grid-like system, because that's not how it worked in the original game. but I think that's ropey enough to get by. It's a trampoline. I think it's pretty obvious it's a trampoline. So Maxime, you're asking if we should also add the world location to that forward vector. What do you mean on the launch? Hang on. So we've got forward vector. No, so world location. We're not getting a location out of this. So this vector in this term is using it as a direction. So it's location fixed. It's fluid. So it's a direction. What this is, and we should got by a rotation. We then want to get a distance from that rotation, that direction. Sorry, I'm muddling my words up. That distance is 300, and then multiplying it by my move forward input, and I'm adding my z value to it, which is the height. So this is all to do with just direction, which way you're going to launch the character, not a location you're going to launch them to. If we wanted to get them to a specific location or a specific place in the world, then world location is where you come into that if you're using that as a sort of input. But in this case, no, we're using direction. It's important to remember that vectors can be used for direction and location. So there's many other things, but they're the two main reasons for it. I'm just going to take a sip of my drink. Hang on. Oh dear. Okay. Oh my god, I'm strangling myself with my headphones. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so we've got a trampoline working. Next thing, let's get some enemies in there and see how it looks with enemies in our world. So let's go find our enemies and drag our enemy zombie and just drag a couple of these in there. Cool. And drag some more up here. We ain't got them spawning yet in the actual game because the zombies in this game will actually spawn at the ground. We'll get to that at some point. Probably not today though. Cool. Now put a nav mesh in our world because they won't move without a nav mesh. So let's put a nav mesh in there. And let's make sure that this thing covers the entire map. Yeah, cool. Okay. Hit play. So they shouldn't see me until, well, they obviously see me. So, zombie, bang, 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 bang. I haven't got any collision up with the projectiles yet, but there they are. So that'll be a secret area we can go into here. Cool. Yeah, so Maxime, you'd use them for raycast and line traces because actually Kim's asking for raycast. So raycast is a line trace. Raycast is what they're usually called in other engines, but in Unreal we call them line traces. So raycast and line traces are used for basically sensing when something is in, I don't know how to describe it. Imagine how in real life when we have sensors, they send out a little laser beam out and they bounce back on whatever they hit. This is what a raycast does. It casts out this sort of ray, this laser beam, this line now, and it will detect where it hits. In Unreal, I'll just show you the code. It's probably quicker. In Unreal, line traces are what they are. So line trace. So a line trace essentially is a line. Okay, you got to say a start point and end point for a line. Start point is its original location. End point is end location, and you often have to use world location to set up their start and end points because they are a location in space, and they handle that. But we also have different shapes as well, not just line traces. We have capsule traces, sphere traces. You also have multi-trace as well. Multi-trace is the same thing, except it report back on everything it hits in that line rather than the first thing. So it can be quite useful for various different tools and techniques. Okay, so here we are with our character done. We've got enemies in there. Let's get the enemies dying on a hit. So in the game, zombies take one hit from the squirt pistol. From what I remember, maybe misremembering that, but I think they take one hit. So enemies, zombie, and it's important to note as well. All the enemies have different attributes based on their affiliations. So, for example, werewolves will die quicker to silver, so you can use silver cutlery, for example, to kill them quicker. So different enemies have different weaknesses. So on a zombie, when we get hit by a projectile, I can't remember how I set up my weapons at the moment. Hang on, let's have a look. Weapons, projectiles. Yeah, so I've got projectiles. What I'm going to do is set up like object type for these to do. So object types, we can go to edit project settings. I believe they're in here. And search for object types. Yep. So you're going to do new object channel. And I'm going to call it projectile. And click overlap as a default response. Click accept. Close that. And what that means is that if I go into my projectile for water and go to its sphere collision, go right into the details panel to the collision, and object type here says world dynamic. I can change that to projectile. So now I've got a custom channel here, and you can see it's now also added it to the bottom here, so I can control how other objects will react to it. So this is a object type of projectile. I can overlap that and close that. An enemy for a zombie, for example, we go capital component, and we'll do a begin overlap for this. And you should be able to get the object type from the other actor. So if I go object type, nope, how do we get the object type? It might be overlapped component. Object type. Yeah, get collision object type. And from there, we can do a switch, for example. So reason why you do a switch is because remember what I said about some enemies being weak to certain other things. So you can have silver as a certain object type. So you can determine what it picks up here. That's one way of doing it. Alternatively, you can use tags if you like. Actually, tags might be a good idea to use. Anyway, we'll use projectile for this. So if it's hit by a projectile, we then want to test whether the projectile has got a certain tag to it. So in this universe, zombies are weak against water. So if we go to our projectile here and give it a tag, I can't remember where to put the tags. Okay, tag, there you go. New tag. And we call this one water. So it's sort of its thing. So this would also count as water because it will burst and it's like a grenade, but it's water. So I'll go into here again. Another tag. And this is going to be water. Click compile. So that when our zombie is hit by a water, or by a projectile, we can then check for tag on that thing. So other actor, you drag that out, and tag, and you want to find actor as tag water, and if it's weak against water, we'll do double damage to it, so it'll kill it. So water will kill it. So if we go false, true, we destroy actor. If it's false, we won't destroy actor. So let's test this out properly. So if I go to my soda can, We'll just go to my water actually. No. And find my tags. So it no longer has water attached to the water gun. So if I shoot it, it shouldn't destroy the zombie. But if I put water on it as a tag, and now shoot it, it should destroy it. Should. If I can actually hit a thing. No, you get. Alright, what's gone wrong? Oh, I thought I had it then first time. Do. Right. Get collision type of the actor. I did change that to projectile, didn't I? Yeah. Zombie. Projectile overlap. Yeah, that's fine. It should work. So why is it not working? Let's just print string this. Interesting. Let's just see if it actually is detecting the hit. I think it is because it looks like it's shuddering a little bit. So do print string. Just can also remove the one that's on the player still because that's quite annoying, that one at the start. Okay. Let's test this out. Okay, he's not detecting any kind of hits. So, what is happening? Is it destroying itself before, maybe? Let's turn that off. No, because it's going straight through it, isn't it? That's not the issue. So, for some reason, my zombie is not calling his overlap event when he should do. Let's just do the actor overlap first and see what that does. But we want to check component, don't we? Whilst my brain is figuring this out in the background, let's have a look at chat. Remind me of the difference between channel and object. Object is for things like actors. Yeah, objects are like actors. Channels are sort of like categories of where you think objects will belong into. So in the collision system in Unreal, things have channels. And we put all the objects collisions in a certain channel. So by default, the engine knows what to do, regardless of having to look up any of the collision rules or anything like that. It knows what it should be doing with each one in that channel. It makes it just a lot easier and quicker for Unreal to load up collision channels. Maxime must have read through the Unreal forum in a late evening then a few weeks ago. Hang on. I missed the first part. What I think is objects are looking for actors and other physical things, whereas channel looks more at attributes like materials. Channel, yeah, just looks. Objects are actors, and channels. Actors are in part of that channel. It's a collision channel. Objects aren't. Yeah. My brain is no longer closer to figuring out why this is not happening. Generate overlap events, collision presets, pawn. Gonna overlap a projectile. That's fine. Let's just see what happens if we plug this into here. Let's just do that. It's just going to print string. It won't work, but let's just print string it. See if that's detecting it at least. Solve the problem one step at a time. So get solid out of that. So what the hell is going wrong here? Any suggestions in chat? By all means, throw them at me. I'm drawing blanks at the moment. If I just change... No. Let's change it to collision enabled query and physics. Let's see if that does anything. Nope, subtle. Maybe because I got pawn. If I overlap, wait, that's why. I'm saying to ignore a pawn. It's not ignoring a pawn. It's using actually overlapping it. That should do it. Did I compile that? Yeah. There we are. So it's detecting it. So that's now working. That gets to that point. So I want to check if it's got water. So I can't remember. Did I turn water back off on this? I gave it water. Is it not giving me that tag? Oh, right. Let's do print string from this one and see if that channel's working. Okay, so that channel's not working. So overlapped component. Oh, it's the other component I want. Dope. There we go. Silly Billy. We can now destroy the other dude as well. So other actor. What? Destroy actor. So the wall gets disappeared as well. But there you go. So now our enemies are weak to water. Do. Yeah. Cool. Kim, visibility. So visibility is if you are checking if you can see through something as well. So if you are shooting through a glass window, for example, do you want the line cast to react to the glass or not? So if you're doing things like line of sight, obviously you don't want to be using the visibility channel because you want to hit it, go through it. So you use the object channel. So the issue I had there, I'll just recap. This overlapped component is referring to the component that is doing the overlapping. So it's the capsule component in this case. I wanted to use the other component, this other comp. This is the other actors component, which I'm going to refer to. And the other actors component is, in this case, on the projectile, this sphere collision, which has that projectile object type. So that's where I went wrong. I had that not selected. And it was originally going through it because I had the projectile set to ignore pawns, which is incorrect because zombies are pawns. I want to make sure they're not ignored, they are overlapped. So that's where I went wrong. Okay. So the idea is you have the zombies in the map, and then we have our neighbours. So let's put some neighbours in there. So we've got the tourists, we'll put them here. And we'll put these guys here. And we'll put another one over here. Let's go and collect them all. 1, 2. And 3. And there's the exit. And you go through it and go to the next level. That's pretty much looking good as the first game goes. If you have no idea what this game looks like, by the way, I'm going to show you a video of it so you can actually get some reference to what the hell I'm trying to make. Bear with me. Zombies ate my neighbours. Level 1. Turn the volume off. So it looks like this. If I just get past the menu. Where's your neighbours in? Oh. So yeah, this is the map we just made. So you collect these neighbours. Give you points. You go into rubbish bins, collect keys, pick up items, pick up babies, chefs, tourists. Open doors with the keys. There's your trampoline. So it does stuff like that. And go through all this. Shoot those guys. Yeah, they are one-hit kills. That's what I thought. So beyond the artwork, we're not too far away really. Just loads of artwork to do. That's all. Say that's all. It's still quite a bit. We've got the swimming part. We've got to do swimming. Yeah, this was originally made by Konami, yeah. So click to the last one over here and you get the door opening like we just showed. Like so. I think we're pretty spot on. That's not too far off what we had. And you get a level complete with the score that you get. So what's actually giving you score in this? So obviously you get the guys, the neighbours. Give you 1,000. 10 for him. So is it just the neighbours that give you points? What about killing zombies? Does it give you some? Let's have a look. Yeah, so give them a score for that as well. Okay. This bar up here is your health, from what I remember. So when you get hit, that drops down, and you have a health pack that you can reuse to heal yourself up a bit. Okay. Cool. All right. So that's what we're trying to make. So let's play through my game again and see where we're at with this. So here's that swimming pool area. We've got the trampolines. And we can shoot the dudes. Ah, he got a zombie. He killed the zombie. The neighbour. So the way the neighbours and zombies work, if you haven't seen that episode that we did that in, is that the zombies will aim for me unless they see a neighbour, and then they'll go for the neighbour. But they won't go for the neighbour until they're in range of, like the neighbour's in range with me. Yeah, that's pretty spot on. Where's that? Find target last position. I'm guessing that's because it killed a neighbour. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it when we fix those issues. Kim, where do you handle the logic where the game knows you completed the level and opens a door? Good question. I can't remember. Where was it? I don't think it was in the level blueprint. No. Level blueprint you want to avoid using if you can. It's mostly used for like events inside the actual level. So when you open a door, a cutscene plays, or bad guy spawn, things like that. But this is handled in... Is it Neighbours? Nope. It must be when I collide with Neighbours. I cannot remember where I put it. Must be the neighbour itself. Surely. Unless it's on the game mode. That's where you would put that sort of thing, is on the game mode. So let's have a look and put that there. Yeah. No. Number of neighbours. Oh yeah, so neighbour saved is called when we save a neighbour, and it checks whether or not we are less than or equal to 0 and spawns an exit if we're, so we do it on the game mode. The game mode is where you usually want to do things like this, where you're checking whether we've won or we've lost. So number of neighbours is kept track of in the game mode. Okay, so let's do the ain't got much time left, so let's do more HUD stuff. Let's do the health bar in that sort of style. So health bar, and the health bar wasn't that sort of blue line sort of effect. So I'm going to get rid of my canvas panel. I'm going to use a horizontal box, and we're going to put in, change the fill screen to desired, and we're going to save this thing. Oh, we need to wrap it in a size box. Wrap with size box, and we do the height of this is set to, I don't know, 64. Sure. And then we're going to do borders. So this border, first one in here, I don't want it to fill up everything. I just want it to be a certain size. So let's right click on this and wrap with size box. This size box is going to be a width of 8. Height we can leave alone because it's just going to fill up space. The border, I'm going to set my brush color to blue, like so. So now I duplicate that across in a horizontal box. So I can right click duplicate, or just do Control W. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, what might have been a better idea is click on this first one and give it padding into the right of it of, say, let's do 5 in the padding, and go Control W, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. 10. Okay, so that's my health bar, and we'll close that and put it into a HUD. Health bar, like so. Compile. So the health bar, make sure it is editable. Yep, it's variable. Good. Actually, we need to open it up. Health bar. This horizontal box, we need to change its name. Health bar box, and make it its variable. On the graph here, we're going to do. Actually, no, we don't have to do anything on there. We can do it on the HUD, I think. Have we really got that? We could do it either place. Let's do it on the health HUD here. So on the construct, I'm just going to get a reference to the player. Get, no, we want to cast to top down character, and the object is going to be get player character, and I'm going to store that as a reference by promoting it to a variable. Player ref, and then we have the health bar out. I don't know. Yeah, so we go update, not update. We'll create a new function called update health. And on update health, we're going to get the health bar out and the play reference out. The health bar is then going to get the health bar box, and that is the horizontal box that contains all the health bar bars, and we're going to get all children of that and put that into a for each loop. Like so. So the array element here is going to be tied to the health of the player. So let's add some health onto the player. That's a tourist. Where's the player? Okay. So make a new variable, health, and that'll be integer. And by default, it's going to be 10 because I've got 10 bars. So 10 there. And what you're doing is array element is less than, not less than, array index, sorry, is less than integer, and you want to get the health of the player. Now if the array index is less than the health, we want that to be full, like blue. Okay, so the array element here, we can set color, no, what's it called? Set border. Oh no, we need to cast it first, that's where we're going. Wrong. Cast to border. Because that's what we've used. If you use an image, it's just use image instead. That's border. Set color. And we go set brush color. And we put that there. And we do exactly the same for the false, like so. So if it is healthy, it'd be a nice rich blue. I'm just going to store that up here. And if it's not so healthy, it's going to be that same blue, but we're going to dull it down a bit. So saturation, we'll put that down. Darkness, we'll put it down a bit. And I can make it a little bit see-through as well. 0.7. Like so. And the target for that is that border. So, when we lose health, let's actually make it so we can actually lose health. So go on to the player character. And I'm just going to put in a key in here. So if I push the G key, we can make health decrement. And we're going to get my HUD and call that update health function. And I think that was it. Play, and if I hit G, no, what have I missed? Update health. Let's call update health on the construct as well, just to make sure. Event update health. So what I'm going to do is on this. Edit. If I change that to something completely different. So when it starts, that should turn it all to blue, but it's not. So what's gone wrong? Oh dear. Okay, so that health bar. Update health. Health bar box, get all children. Let's just spit out the length of this. Oh wait, the size box is in the border inside the size box. Oh, poop. Okay. Okay. Right, so in that case, it's not a border, it's a size box. So if the cast to size box. This is very messy. If I was doing this properly, I'd make that an image. Make it just one step thing. Get child at 0. Then cast that to border. I would do an image if I were you, if you were doing health bars like this. But I'm not worried. There you go. So I can see a health bar that I can deplete with the G key. And there's a health bar. And that's how you do it. What else can we quickly add to this? Let's make a score. Score. And let's make a size box. And we actually don't need to do a score as a separate thing. That's kind of redundant because it's literally just one thing. So on the HUD here, just want some text out. And that'll be the score here. It'll be right aligned. Score of 0, 0, 0, 0. Compile, and you've now got score in the corner. So when we kill enemies, we're going to add score to the player. So let's go to the player, add a variable, score, and that's going to be an integer. And compile, leave it at 0. And when we kill a zombie, nope, zombie, we go on destroyed event, get player character, oh hello, cast to top down character, get score, add, and we'll do then set score. And what I'm going to do is add a variable onto the parent, enemy parent, score value, which then I can call up on its children, such as the zombie. So here I can go score value, like so. And its class defaults for score value for this is somewhere. Oh, it's at the top. There we go. 100. Okay, so when that happens, we want the score to be updated. So on the HUD, we need another function, update score, Get the play reference, score, and we're going to set this text here to be variable. Score text. And we're going to plug that in. Set text. So every time we add to that score, we need to tell it to update it. So on the enemies, zombie, and we're going to tell this top-down character get HUD, and then update score. Ideally, this whole entire thing, cut that out from there, should belong to enemy parent. That way I don't have to remake it every time for all of them, because they're all going to be the same. Compile that, close, push play, and when I hit an enemy, my score changes. Neat. Right, let's see what chat. I'm going to end the stream in a moment, so if you have any questions or things you want to talk about, bring them up in chat now. Kim's asking, where and how would you play music in the game? And changing music depends on what's going on in the game, like in Metal Gear. So music depends whether it's diegetic or non-diegetic. Basically, is it in the game's universe and world, or is it in the player's world? Most music's in the player world. If it's in the player's world, you can just play music using a sound cue. So if we go to here, sounds, you can do the sound cue and tell it just to play music in the level blueprint, for example. And if you wanted it to play some music based on what's going on in the game, whenever that trigger happens, you just tell it to play sound. Rather than don't do play sound at location, just generally just play sound, and it'll play sound through the speakers, headphones, whatever it may be. And that sound could be a music, sound effect, whatever you may want. Yeah. But you play it wherever, whatever's triggering it. So if an enemy spots you and goes into like an alert music, make the enemy start the track. And before it does that, you can make it say, check what music's currently playing. And if it is currently playing, don't play it again. Otherwise, it'll just restart. Hi, Mr. Thunderbutts. Great name. What's your question, Kim? While we're waiting for final questions to come through, just a reminder that this coming Wednesday, the 30th of October, I am doing a special extra long live stream event for my 2-year anniversary of the channel. This live event will cover all 4 topics of our live streams. That includes a live tutorial, question time, making this game, and a case study. And then finally, can I make a game within 1 hour? So a whole game in 1 hour, can I do it? So let's see how far I get with that and hopefully achieve it. And have a game that I can give out at the end. During this stream, there'll be loads of promotions and events. So make sure you're there watching to be taking a part in those. I've got some special stuff lined up ready to release. So I'm looking forward to giving that out to people and sharing what I've been doing this week. It's been a hectic week. I've done a lot of filming and recording. Still plenty more to do before Wednesday. So I have another series of long nights ahead of me. Kim North is asking, Kim, if it doesn't find an actor and therefore it doesn't update the state of the door, is the issue because it is that's a very tricky thing to figure out without visually seeing it. So if you've got any screenshots, you can send it over to me. One way or another, I can have a look at it in a moment and have a look. As could be quite a few things to do with that. Sorry, just seeing what other chat is saying. So Jason, if there's something we didn't catch because of the chat in the way, would you respond later in the comments, noob here? I try to respond to comments in my videos. It is very difficult to do. I get a lot of comments as the channel grows in popularity, but I try to answer them if I can. If not, just keep bugging me. I will get to you at some point. Yeah, Kim, if you can just send us screenshots of what you've got, it'd be great. And share it to me on Discord. Yeah. So if you have missed this live stream, don't fret. The archive for this will be available to patrons straight away, or if not, first thing in the morning. If you are not a patron and you want to see the archive, you can wait a couple of weeks and it'll be out then. Speaking of content coming out this week, mostly just got that massive live stream happening this coming Wednesday, so make sure you tune in for that. Patrons have just got a widget-based one with his talking about how to make widgets with menus and sub-menus. They're also going to get a video coming this week about how to do gamepad control inside widgets as well, showing how you use gamepads to navigate through a widget, which is quite cool and interesting. Lots of people have been asking for that one, so patrons will be seeing that one hopefully this week too. And other than that, that's it really. The archive for the live stream on Wednesday will be broken up into 5 separate videos, so we can upload them all separately in the archive. But beyond that, that's it. So thank you very much for everyone coming by this evening. We've done a lot of progress, I feel like, and the game actually looks like Zombies Ate My Neighbours a little bit. We just need to do artwork for it really. But we've got neighbours, we've got zombies, and yeah, a door when we get to it. Oh, I've run out of bullets. So yeah, we're getting there. It's getting there. So we just do artwork, and I think we'll do that on Wednesday during that live stream. So that'd be quite cool to do. I've never actually streamed me doing modelling before, so it'd be quite interesting to see what people think of my modelling skills. They're not the greatest, but I get by. But yeah, don't forget to check out the stream on Wednesday. Cool announcements, giveaways, promotions. Check it out. It's a long live stream. I'll be doing all sorts of stuff, so make sure you come by. Thanks very much for everyone for coming by and watching. Thanks for showing your support, and have a good night. I'm going to go get some sleep. Ciao.